This happened under the guidelines of the Christian covenant relationship. Allow you to write that contract. He wrote it, and both of you signed it. Wait. So the one that you get down at the courthouse that you have to get, that's null. Unless it's written by God and two people sign it, then it's just another piece of paper. And that's why they say, marriage is just a piece of paper. We can do what we want to do in it. But we have to know that God, the originator of it, now started. Just want to ask a couple of questions before we get into a little bit more. Families have what we call roles of each one. What's the role of the father? House. That's a good definition. House band. Yes, ma'am. I need that mic over there. She talks so sweet and soft. The role of the father, the man.
The 3 P's.
3 P's?
Yes.
Which are?
The priest, provider, and protector.
Priest, provider, and protector. Preach on now. Preach on. Yes. The priest of the house has numerous definitions of a priest. A priest teach, instruct, correct, and reprove in righteousness. A provider will die before he let his family go hungry. He himself. That's why they tell us that if you ain't working, you ain't fit to eat. You should never eat. So he will do everything to provide, not sitting there eating ice cream, looking at soap operas while she's working. I know I ain't talking to you all because but if you were to select and say yes to one, and you know they ain't got no job, do not come to me for counseling. Amen. If you chose that, live with it because that's what you wanted. Well, too late. It's too late. You can't train an adult. You can't grow an adult. When you choose that, that's what you've got. Provider and protector. We can go to gamut on that. In the African setting, that's what we had before we got here. Usually, the men will teach the trade of the family to keep the industry going and to keep things working in the house. They would teach a trade to their sons and their daughters and to keep work in the house. They would provide for them by not only giving and bringing in the food and all of the necessities there, but they would also provide the education for them so that they are able to do this themselves. And they would also protect. It is a very, very sorry man, and I'm going to use that word, that will hear the doorbell ring and tell his wife to go see who it is. Man, and in this day and time, there ain't no telling who at the door. So no, it is your responsibility to protect. When you're walking on the sidewalk, put her on the inside, not next to the street. these little things. You are never, ever. And I don't care if you're a cold, rainy, and sweat. She should be warm, comfortable, and cozy. I don't care. It does not matter. It really does not matter. Don't be pulling the cover off just because you want to be warm. Amen. Some of the other things. What's the role of the lady in the house? What's the role? of the wife. What's the role? Yeah, we want to put some stamps. There's Miss Wisdom over there. There's one. Yeah, okay. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say support and nurture.
Support and nurture.
That's what I was going to say. But we are told the woman is the heart of the home.
Okay. Explain that a little bit more.
She's really holding it together. She
Okay.
really brings the pieces together in the
Okay.
home. She and the nurturing. She does the nurturing. She's a doctor and everything else, but to sum it all up in one word is the heart of the home.
Okay.
Without the heart of the home, then something's missing in the home. Because
Okay.
she pays attention to little things and,
Okay.
patience.
I see another hand back there. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say advise, give good advice, and operate with, both are supposed to operate with love, but ultimately the wife is to operate with love and give good advice and just, like she said, nurture.
Okay. All right. All right. Come on, Miss Tamara. What you say? What's the role?
But I'm not like a teaching part of that too in the home. So
Teaching.
that's what I was thinking
Okay.
as well. Because like they're saying, I know what we're all saying, but I think we're not quite hitting what exactly it is. But that's what I'm thinking of with the mother.
Okay. All right. Man, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bust everybody's bubble. It's amazing. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
To me, I think about, to go with what I'm going to say is Proverbs speaks about a virtuous woman, and it gives you the detail. And so to me, she is like a provider in the home. Her family does not go lacking. Even her husband praises her. And so that's what I get of being the role of the home.
Okay.
I just want to say, I could just say for myself, as the mother, as being in the home, there's a big role for the mother in the home. Is that she bring her children together. She sit down and she get the Bible and she read it and let them have a good idea of who God is, to have worship with the children.
Okay.
I know that the husband, he play his role as having worship with the family, but the mother have worship with her children, so her children can get to know God from their mother.
Okay.
And then she provide as in the home as keeping the house clean, making sure the meals is on the table, make sure the children are fed, they're bathed, and put them to bed, give them a bedtime story,
Okay.
and, like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'll be mad at me before I leave here today. Paul says to us in 1 Corinthians that we husbands do what? Love your wife as God loved the church. And then he said to the wives, do what?
Submit.
That word in there is submit, isn't it? Yeah. But man, look. One of the things that have happened during the feminine revolution is that we had to change roles because men stopped being men. The second thing is that men was always off to war, and there was nothing but left in the home but the woman and the children. So the roles was reversed. When they came back, they were so messed up with this war stuff that they couldn't function the way that they were ordained to function in the home. The second thing is that we have become, as women, has become so power hungry during the 60s and the 70s, where they were doing all of this stuff in equal rights, that they now exchange the role. And today it is prevalent that women take care of the men. Yes, I go and get a man, but I'm going to come in. You don't have to do nothing. Sit down. I go work. You sit here, and I'm going to take care of you. It is, the roles have reversed. But if you were to take, and I would challenge you to look up that word submit. It is not a negative word. As a matter of fact, if you read on down, it tells us, the husbands, that we are to submit to our wives as well. So we are in a covenant relationship. The role of it is to sit and understand, commune together to know how God best wants you to operate in this covenant. Now, don't put solid roles on anybody. I cook like my wife, better than in most instances. I have no problem. I learned that. I sew better than. I make my own suits. Wait a minute. I can fix the car and cut the yard and work on the house and do all of that. And if I can, and by the way, the most important nurturer in the house is daddy. Without the nurturing of daddy, we have feminine men and spoiled girls. I know. You asked me to come. Go.
But no, when you said role, because what I was thinking, you said, what role do we have? Because, I mean, I don't have a problem with the word submit or submission either, but I'm still trying to understand, like, how submit doesn't fit into, like, a role. It says, is it just saying do? We know not do as the husband say do. We have a husband that's following Christ as it should. Like I said, that's not an issue.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm still confused on what you say when you say role, because I don't use submission as a role.
Yeah, I use that word because I'm listening at the thinking.
Okay.
We want to put everybody in a box or a category. So the role is actually not addressed in the word.
Okay.
It's not addressed. And when two people come together, the best way to operate your house is when two people are committed and submitted to each other.
Got it. That works.
It does not matter. It does not make me feminine to iron my own clothes. Come on now. Or to clean. And understand that it is my responsibility to make sure that the environment in that isn't mentally and physically and spiritually, but it's an environment of cleanliness and holiness. And so I don't have a problem. I do not have a problem. Every Thursday.
So all that would fit under priest. I mean, to me, what you're saying, being the priest of the home.
Yes, it is.
And I have friends who always talking to me about their homes and how they're falling apart. But what I always tell them, for some reason, I mean, I'll go back to the fact that if the devil knows who to target, and if he's targeting the head of the home, which is the priest of the home, then the home is going to fall apart.
It's going to fall apart. The unity that God want to have the same unity that the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost is home. With the same in life. Oh man, parents. Looking back, we didn't do that. And our heads had some real hard trouble coming up in life because we went away of our parents. The home is a